Hi everyone, it's Bob Doman again. Hope you're well. Hope you're still home, being healthy and staying sane. I thought it might be a good time to talk about behavior. If you've been trying to get your kids to do some things, you may have discovered that they don't necessarily want to cooperate. Behavior is a big issue, and unfortunately, rarely is it handled well. It's rarely handled well at home or at school, for that matter. In fact, often at school they just record negative behaviors rather than actively do something to correct them. One of the foundations I talk about relative to behavior is to really have power with a child. That power as a parent. You really want to create a positive environment for your child. Now, positive environment essentially means that your child is used to you saying positive things, not negative things. And because they're used to you saying positive things, they have learned that to get attention from you, they should do positive things. And the more positive the things they are doing, the more positive responses they get from you. Okay? As opposed to a negative environment, the kids learn that they do negative things to get attention from you, and the bigger the negative, the more attention they get. So guess what they do more of? I like to define a positive environment as a definitive positive environment, one in which we've got a ratio of 4 positives to every 1 negative. That's a pretty positive environment. Right? 4 to 1. 4 positives to every 1 negative. You wouldn't have to go to too many homes to find ratios like 1 to 10, 1 positive to 10 negative. Or worse. It's almost the norm. And unfortunately, part of that has come from how busy everyone is and how much we've kind of moved away from family per se. All right. If you're really, really, really busy, you don't perceive yourself as having time to acknowledge all the positives. All right, Johnny does this and this and this and this right. You ignore Johnny. Johnny does this wrong. Johnny, stop it. Cut that out. Don't do that again. Or I'm going to. Right? So the more hectic life becomes, the busier we are. And sadly, often the less time we have with our kids, the more negative we tend to become with them. Which, is not going to make happy kids. Is not going to produce kids who are happily working to get your positive attention. And parents have a hard time understanding that kids actually will work for negative attention. All right. Really, my kid's going to do something, so I will yell at them. Yeah, they will. Right. Your kids want your attention. Generally, they want mom's attention more than anybody's attention on the entire planet. Sadly, often, for a lot of kids, behavior is worse for mom than anybody else on the planet because that's whose attention they want, and that's what works. Okay? Do the right thing, you're ignored. Be good, you're ignored. Do something wrong, somebody's jumping all over your case. If we were able to crawl into most kids' heads and pull out the definition of the word no, it'd be very interesting. As an adult, I said, okay, define no. Well, no means, oh, you don't do that. Don't do that. Stop that. No. No. Okay? Most kids, their definition of no is not now. later. Or in fact, yeah, I'm going to get attention. Good. Do it again. We need to create a positive environment for the kids, 4-1. But we also have to be definitive. No without a consequence doesn't mean anything. You're not defining it, right? And relative to that, creating a positive environment doesn't mean there are no negatives. Kids need feedback when they're inappropriate, right? But they need quality feedback, definitive feedback. Parents will say, I punish him and punish him and punish him and punish him, and he keeps doing the same thing. I'll give you a definition of punishment. A punishment is a consequence to a behavior that decreases the frequency of the behavior. Okay? So if you keep, quote unquote, punishing that thing and it doesn't go away, doesn't diminish, you're not by definition punishing the behavior. And the odds are you've got a negative environment and your child is working to get a rise out of you, looking for the negative response. Right? So when you do need to stop a behavior, punish behavior, be significant with it. Communicate to the child, don't do that. Have a consequence. And preferably a consequence is an immediate consequence. Taking things away from kids generally is not a punishment. Generally, it doesn't work. Generally, it just makes them angry, and you take this and this away, and they're going to kind of say, well, good, you took that and that, but I'm going to do that and that. Gotcha. Okay? All right, so you really want to find something immediate. And it can, it can be push-ups. It can give me 5 stair laps. All right? Okay? Be right sentences. Don't stuff works. All right? But something significant and immediate, and you determine whether or not what you're doing is effective, is in fact a punishment, by looking at the data. Is that behavior going away? If it is, keep it up. You're punishing the behavior. You're eliminating the behavior. And while you're eliminating behavior, what you're going to remember? Create a positive environment. The more positive your environment is, the more power you really have as a parent. Okay? Because your kids are going to work to please you. Okay? All right? Positive is nice. Positive isn't all that tough. It's a bit of a new behavior pattern. Okay? So we're going to have to catch your kids being good to throw positives at them. Right. So be it. All right. Work to create the positive environment. Be definitive. All right. And have fun. Okay? Thanks.